Okay, this better be a good video. It wasn't the initial idea I wanted to make. The initial idea was to make cute little jewelry straight from Pinterest, like DIY jewelries. It turns out it's not as easy as it seems like. First of all, you need to make sure you pay enough attention to the jewelries and the tiny little parts of them. Second of all, you need to make sure that you're filming that correctly. Girl, goodbye. I was filming that in slow motion. I have no idea why I keep having this issue. I was so involved in making those freaking jewelries that I forgot to take a look at the little screen right here and check in which mode I'm filming that. I think there was a sign straight from the universe saying that I should not be filming this video and I should film something else, because I couldn't even make the normal intro for that video.
Hi. Can I just get a hot tea, like a small one? And then also just one chicken grill wrap.
Anyway, I'm actually celebrating today. My boyfriend and I are celebrating 6-month long-distance relationship anniversary. Wow, that was a long name. But yeah, we're 6 months in and it's doing great. Knock on wood. It's doing great, but I can't believe it's already been 6 months. Time flies like crazy. Can you believe 2020 was 5 years ago? And 2015 was a decade ago? Yeah, me neither. And I'm not even going into like insane numbers like 2008, 2007. People miss that era, like early 2000s. And I do too for some reason. Like back in 2008, I was 3 by the way. But there is something about this whole aesthetic that makes me miss it. Even though I've never kind of experienced that fully. Obviously, I didn't have any access to internet, but I weirdly miss it. I just feel like I've experienced that. You probably saw a lot of videos of people being very nostalgic on like early 2000s, especially with the Skype being shut down. You probably saw that too. So I decided that that was a good idea to combine these two topics, long distance relationship and internet back in early 2000s. Boom. When I was doing my rough research on Google and ChatGPT, of course, on that topic, I obviously saw a lot of things that are still in common between couples now and couples back then, but there is still a decent amount of things that I found completely different to what we have now. So let's just deep dive into this era and experience something that couples back then used to experience. I just wonder how they managed long distance relationship back then when there was no such thing as advanced technology. Yeah, let's just get into it. And before we start, I'm kindly asking you to subscribe to this goddamn channel. Actually, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and now we can go on. First thing I wanted to talk about is movie nights. Movie nights are such a great way to spend time with your significant other, and you can always do that on a long distance relationship as well. For example, my boyfriend and I are pulling out Discord. He's just sharing his screen and we're watching a movie. But do you know how they did it back then? They had to watch a movie simultaneously. If that's a TV show, wow, that seems like a stressful task. They needed to be at home at the exact same time so they could watch a TV together, kind of. If that's not the case, they needed to send each other like the VHA things, discs, like the CVDs, so their loved ones could watch a movie and then share their experience. That's a hard work, honestly. Because now it's just like so easy. It would take you a few clicks and you're watching a movie here. Full theater right in your screen. But back then they needed to like make sure that they're watching the exact same moment in the movie or a show so they could watch it actually at the same time. And I mentioned that they used to like message each other. The messengers that they used to use were called AOL and MSN Messenger. Such an old thing. If you take a look at these, it exactly gives off the vibe of like Windows XP. It's a convenient way of communicating, obviously, but it had nothing in common with what we see in messengers now. Sending a picture was not a thing. Sending a video was not a thing. Sending stickers was not a thing. If we're talking about like early 2000s, even the 90s maybe. Most popular way was emailing each other because it was easy. Once you have an access to an internet, that's the easiest way. You could share your emotions, your feelings, how your day has been, how your week has been, stuff like that. And then good old Skype launched back in, I believe, 2003. Obviously, people loved that. It was such a new thing. I'm gonna give it good credits because I'm gonna miss it too. We used to use Skype to call our grandma here in Canada, but sadly it's shutting down, as I said in the beginning. Like, can you imagine? You had a chance to not only talk to your partner, but see them too. Insane. So technically you could talk for hours because that was free. If there were some people who didn't have any internet, they used to schedule phone calls. Just because, especially if that's like a long distance, there is free for any calls. So they needed to make sure that they have enough time or just some amount of time to talk to each other. I just think we need to appreciate the fact that we could just FaceTime each other in like a second. You don't need a big brain for that. But back then, wasn't that easy. I'm just playing with that thing from microphone. I hope you don't mind. Okay, next thing I wanted to talk about is music. Now we have YouTube Music, the one I use, for example. We have Spotify, we have Apple Music, any music platform that would allow you to listen to your music and also share it to anybody you want. So sharing a playlist with your significant other is not a problem. And that was one thing, listening to music. That was totally different thing of sharing the playlists. Look at this scary thing. It looks like a coding app for me, but no, it's called Napster.
And just for clarification, Napster used to be a file sharing platform launched back in 1999. You can still find instructions, manuals, and whatnot on how this worked back then. At first, I thought it was like an actual app where people could listen to music, but no, I was wrong.
Sometimes people used to email each of the songs that they wanted their loved ones to listen to. It doesn't seem so hard, but if that's a huge playlist that you would want to share with anybody, you just got lazy putting that in. Every single song, every single artist. Also, some sort of relief happened when MySpace entered the game.
If you were on MySpace during the 2000s, then you probably did these things. The login page was filled with a bunch of chaos, but you logged in right here. In your About Me section in your bio, you made up these bulletin surveys and hoped that either your ex or your crush would fill it out and send it to you. Most definitely had to pick the most fire song at the time so that everyone knew we were listening to, and it was cool. Panic at the Disco. Sounds about right.
As far as I understand, that was just a regular, what we used to call regular social media. So you could share your pictures there, you could message somebody. It's like a mix of Facebook and Tumblr in one app. And this app also allowed to like save some music. So they kind of make a job a little bit easier in terms of like sharing your playlist. So you could just copy the link off your profile and send it to your partner so they could listen to the music you have in your profile. Again, I don't know much about it. Maybe I'm wrong. Blame ChatGPT, not me. They also used an app called Winamp. What is this? Looks like my nightmare. And now, even though they kind of, by that time, they kind of had somewhat decent way to communicate with each other, but what about sending cute little pictures? Something that we call stickers now. There were certain websites that allow you to do that. It wasn't included in like messengers or social medias at that time, but you could get it separately. There is 3 websites that I've found that were the most popular one and what they used to use for sending e-cards. First one is called Hallmark. Next one is called Millinet. And the third one, last but not least, is Blue Mountain. So you had occasions pretty much. So based on that, these websites were categorized. So, just to say hi or happy birthday or happy Easter, Merry Christmas, whatever it is. So you had a chance to choose a specific one that you like and send it to your significant other. The way they used to send it though, it's very interesting. You choose the e-card that you like, you put your partner's email, they receive the email with the link, they press on a link, and only then they see the sticker or the e-card. So it's basically the same as you found a picture of a teddy bear holding a rose and you decided to send that to your partner because it's cute. It's basically the same thing. Okay, something that I miss to this day, which I never had a chance to experience, but I kind of want to bring it to life, is handwritten letters. Bro, back then it was probably the easiest option to express what they feel to each other. All you need is just a pen and a piece of paper. But now it's just so unique to have. Maybe I should do a little letter to my boyfriend though, I don't know. It's like just the fact that you can hold it in hands and realize that person used to spend some time doing that. And the fact that you can keep it, I don't know, it just like warms my soul, makes me smile. This one's a funny one. So my favorite game when I was a kid was Sims, and I'd love to play that to this day because it's such an entertaining game. But if we go back to early 2000s, this game and some others like World of Warcraft, for example, that's the example that Google gave me, people used to play together to spend time together. So it's like a date night idea. So I suppose they would call each other and then play the game simultaneously, because I don't remember Sims having the option of playing together, like actually in a game. But I guess they would have their own games open and then just talking, yapping about stuff and like playing together. Still, it sounds like fun. And so this video is just a tiny little reminder that we need to appreciate everything that we have now. Every app we use, every platform, every website that allows us not only to use internet more conveniently, but also bridge the physical gap between people and give us a great way of communicating. Physical gap is not as scary as it might sound like with all the technology, modern technology we have. Even though there's still a plethora of disadvantages of long distance relationship, I feel like all you need is just trust and love and patience, and you'll be good. I hope this video was at least a tiny bit entertaining. It was really fun for me to make it because I knew from the beginning that I would definitely make at least one video that refers to my relationship, and here it is on my anniversary. How cool is that? Peace out, you guys. Okay, so rest in peace, Skype, and thank you guys for watching this video. Again, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video, and I'll see you in the next one next week. What was that?